Okay, so we're going to move the marker now based on whether it lands on a head or a tail. So we've got the broadcast of a head and the broadcast of a tail, which we can use. So if I click on the marker sprite, the bit of program we've got here is just its location to start with, and I'm going to ask it to do things. So when it receives a head, what I want it to do is point in a particular direction. Now 90 is to the right, and I want it to move a certain number. That number will be 67, because that fits with the stage that I've got, and that's it. I'm going to repeat this so that if we get a tail, then it's going to head in the other direction. So I'm just going to change the direction to -19 and left, so that's absolutely fine. So it's going to move in those directions. Now what I need it to do is check to see whether it's in a winning position at the end, so when the count has got to 3. So we're going to build in an if statement based around when it receives the broadcast end. Then we're going to have an if else statement. So I'm going to go to operators, and I want one of these or statements, because we're going to look at two conditions. We're going to look at one where the x position is greater than a particular value, and one where the x position is less than a particular value. So let's just get our x position, drop it in, that's one, and that's the second one. Now at these points, if the marker was over here, then the x coordinate is actually greater than 150. So I'm going to use that as a position test over here. So I'm going to say 150, and similarly over here the marker position would be less than -150. So I'm just going to put -150 in here. Okay, so if that's the case, then what I'm going to do is broadcast that we've got a winner. So I'm just going to create a new broadcast and say win. And if that's not the case, then what I want is a broadcast that says that it's a lose. So we just build that one in here also. So that's fine. Now what I want to do is use this win and lose broadcast to make these sprites pop up, so signs to tell the customer what's happened. So if we go over to win, then basically when this sprite receives a win, then what I want it to do is show itself. I'm going to want it to hide as well in a bit, but I want a bit of time between this, so let's build in a bit of 5-second time gap between those two. Now what's going to happen at the end of that is I want it to reset itself, get back so that you can play it again. So I'm going to broadcast and create a new broadcast which is new for a new game. Now this will work for win, and I also want that in for the sprite lose, so I'm just going to duplicate this, drag it across and drop it into lose. So if I click on here, you can see I've got the same one here, but I just need to change that to lose. Now I'm going to use this new broadcast back here with the coin. So when it receives new, then I want it to set this count back to 0. That's that. And also I want this marker to go back to where it should be. So when this also receives a new, oops, there we go, I want it to go back to this position. So rather than doing that, I'm just going to duplicate this one and drop that on there, and then we're ready to go. So let's test it out. So I click on the green flag, click on the coin, and we've got a tail. So we've moved to the left, we've got a head, so we're not going to win this time, but hopefully one more will instigate the end of the game. And bad luck, try again, you could be luckier this time, and then it's reset for us to play again. Okay, so that's how you program the game to get the students to have a go and see what happens, and keep playing the game and see, you might win. Okay, thank you very much.